Day. This is a historic day. There's a lot riding on what happens today with this panel. In your experience with the FDA, with these panels, what do you anticipate is going to happen today?
Well, this is a historic day. Imagine in less than a year going from the recognition of a novel coronavirus to a vaccine authorization, potentially. That's what's going to be discussed today at the hearing. It's going to be, I think, a pretty routine meeting in some ways, though, because the data coming in on this vaccine is so promising. The initial evaluation by the FDA, has shown really dramatic efficacy and no significant safety concerns. So I don't think there are going to be a lot of fireworks at the meeting, but there's going to be a very considered discussion with FDA scientists discussing the data and their analysis with the company scientists and with the panel of outside experts, making sure that all of the important issues get discussed. And there will be some areas of intense focus, including what will happen to this study once an authorization for broader use might be made. Will it continue, or will the individuals in the placebo arm be offered vaccine?
That's a big ethical question. I mean, obviously, if you've got this effective vaccine that looks like it's so promising, as you mentioned, you want to be able to give it to the people, the 50% of the patients in those studies who got a placebo, didn't get this. That you want to offer them protection and thank them for stepping up and being the ones who stepped forward to allow these tests to happen. If you do that, though, it limits the amount of information you're going to have down the road about some of the longer-term effects. So how do you think the scales are weighted on that question?
Well, you're absolutely right about the dilemma posed, and it's a scientific one and it's an ethical one. And it is going to be an important focus of the meeting. I think the FDA has indicated their interest in continuing the study in a controlled way. And I think Pfizer has indicated that it's in a somewhat different place. So I think that is really the discussion of the day. And it has broader implications for other studies, I might add, in terms of how do you structure other vaccine studies. This is obviously the first vaccine to be making it towards the finish line and perhaps soon going over in terms of an emergency use authorization. But there are many other vaccines in development, and there'll probably be second and third generations of COVID-19 vaccines.
Dr. Hamburg, one of the big questions I would assume would get some attention today is what happened in the UK with 2 people getting severe allergies and having allergic reactions after getting these shots, the very first vaccines that went out there with this same vaccine. What do you think of that? What are the implications? Does it concern you, or is this something that maybe is not surprising given how quick of a rush this was and the fact that you usually don't have people with extreme allergies enrolled in trials like this?
Well, an allergic reaction is always a concern. Any potential adverse event related to a vaccine has to be looked at in a very serious way. But I think it reflects the ongoing process as we learn more. In the Pfizer study, individuals with a history of serious allergic reactions were actually excluded from the study. I imagine at the advisory board meeting today, there will be a discussion about appropriate use of the vaccine, what should the label say, and that they will discuss whether there should be contraindications for individuals with history of severe allergic reactions. But that is something that comes up with other vaccines as well. It needs to be addressed. Certainly, providers need to be thinking about the possibility of an allergic reaction in the context of providing vaccine. But I think that we have a lot of experience now, in fact, with this vaccine that's being discussed at the advisory board meeting today and may be the first in the United States to receive an emergency use authorization. We will need to continue to study it. One of the important things that people need to understand about the vaccine process always is that it doesn't stop with an approval or an authorization, that the responsibility of the FDA and others involved is to continue to monitor the use of the vaccine in the real world as it goes out to more and more people, to continue to collect information about both safety and efficacy, and to investigate any safety concerns and to adapt recommendations as indicated in terms of ongoing information that is collected.
Sure.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.